When you're buying a bike, you look it over and you find all the little cosmetic blemishes and you go, ooh, and use them as bargaining chips to perhaps drive the price down a little bit. You can have in mind that perhaps you can fix those blemishes. Yeah? When I bought this bike, it was pretty immaculate actually, Sprint. The one real blemish that it had was on the pannier. It had real bad scrape. Now looking at it, if I looked at the rest of the bike, I could see it hadn't happened on the bike. It's not like the bike had fallen over. The story I was told was that it was the guy before the one I bought it off, who'd had the bike for 6 years, had actually put it in the garage and moved something that scraped this side panel against the side of the garage and scratched it. And to be honest, it looked, credible. It certainly hasn't been an accident on the bike. Unfortunately, it had actually gone through to the plastic, so you couldn't, T-cut it out. If you look at the pictures of it, you'll see that it's quite bad. Now, I did think of buying a new panel, and they're only £30 if you can get them. Unfortunately, this colour doesn't seem to be one that Triumph seem to be doing anymore. So I tried buying the paint, and even that, trying to find the paint is, a real pain. In the end, I went to my local paint supplier with the panel, and they matched it up as best they could to a colour that, was on their books. Then they put a special little machine against it to adjust it for weathering or whatever, to actually bring it to sort of dial it in. I'll put their recipe, as a picture towards the back end of this video. And so I got the paint like that, only bought 200 millilitres. It was £15 plus VAT. A new panel thing would have only been about £30, but couldn't get it. So this video shows you how I repainted it, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So just watch the steps, painted it like a patch, but actually did paint the entire panel, and then see what you think at the end. needed to put primer on because when it's actually scratched all the way through all the coats of paint, if you just put a base coat on, it tends to crinkle up and you'll get a problem. As you can see, the Young Gun did the colour and the clear coat, did a fantastic job of that. And I think it's an exact match for the Triumph colour. And it's gone on. Even the bit of orange peel in the clear coat, which you seem to always get, is pretty similar to the clear coat on the Triumph. So I think that's a really good repair. It's a thing that I use to haggle the price down. You might actually put off somebody buying the bike altogether just for a bit of a scrape on a part that I've never used. It's been sat in my loft for a year and I keep thinking of using it and then never quite get into it. Now, the Triumph name for the colour is Sunset Red, but the colour name that the paint shop started off with to get the match for this was actually a Nissan colour, Toreador Red. Toreador sounds exotic, but I think the animal rights might not be that keen on that these days. Sunset Red, the Triumph name, I can live with that. I think that's an excellent job, well done. I'm almost thinking I'll get out and use the panniers and go somewhere. Oh no, we've got lockdown, haven't we?